Hello, I'm Dubois with another edition of 90 Days of Positive Content. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the people in our lives and bringing our best selves to those people that we are closest with. Because if we are truly honest with ourselves, the people who are closest to us, so think of the people who live in your house, children, spouses, significant others, partners, even people like parents, siblings, those people who are really very bonded to us and very close to us, a lot of times do not get the best version of who we are. And I've given a lot of thought to this, and I think it's because we want to be perceived by the outside world as polished and put together. So when we're at work or out with the boys or out with the girlfriends or at a board meeting or in the community, we are putting forward our best foot and coming with our best selves. And then when you're in the confines of your home and your comfort zone, it's really easy to slip into just reaction mode because we're not really putting on anything for anyone because these are the people who are closest to us. And an example of this might be if you're at home and if you have children, and children sometimes can push buttons or they can be needy, or they're doing something, you're asking them to stop and you're asking them to stop and you're asking them to stop and they don't, and then before you know it, you're shouting at them. That's one example. And you're not a shouter. In your circles, you wouldn't be a shouter, but at home, it's easy to get into that mode of doing that. And no parent's going to tell you that they want to shout at their children or that they want to react in that manner to their child, but it's easy to do that because you're in the confines of your own space. Another example might be maybe you're getting home from work and you've asked your spouse to help out with something, and they're trying to help and they're doing their thing, and they're not doing it exactly the way you had expected it to be done or the way you had imagined it would be done, and then you kind of lose it or go off on the deep end with them. Or you have an argument with a sibling or a parent or whatever it might be, and you're just not going into that conversation or that interaction with the best version of who you are. Those are just some examples, and everybody has their own examples. But if you're truly honest with yourself and you think about those relationships that you're closest with, they're probably not getting the best version of you. So it's important to recognize that. And when you catch yourself shouting at the child or being annoyed or resentful with the significant other, or having that argument with a sibling or whoever, whatever it might be, that you catch yourself and you ask yourself, what's triggering that reaction? And if I could do it over again, because you can always do it over again, how would I respond if I was the best version of who I am? And then the next time that something happens or there's that trigger and you're shouting at the child again, take a step back before you shout. And sometimes you might have to disassociate yourself and walk into the other room to take a beat or take a breath. But then give yourself a time, and then come back and react the way you would react as your best self, coming in love and kindness to that individual, that child, that spouse, that significant other, and react as the best version of yourself. And you'll notice that people will be like, oh, well, that's different. What's going on with you? But it's important to do that. And when you get those reactions, then you'll know, wow, I really was not coming as the best version of myself, if you're surprised when I do. But it's so important. Those people that you love, the people that you love hard on, who are the closest to you, deserve the very best of who you are. That is today's message. Thank you very much for listening and following along. Whatever you do today and every day, do it in love. Love hard.